much progress is it really if now there's a private company making money off the GPS monitor?
We now have more African Americans under criminal supervision than all the slaves back in the 1850s.
Well, there have already been some great documentaries this year. Highly recommend seeing many of them. But along comes one that is so urgent, so pertinent, so timely, and so valuable that attention must be paid. And that, I would say, is the case with Ava DuVernay's 13th. This premiered at the New York Film Festival last week, the first documentary feature in the history of the New York Film Festival to be the opening night attraction, and it certainly deserved that distinction. Ava DuVernay is the director of the Best Picture nominee Selma of a couple of years ago, and also several other films, including Middle of Nowhere, and it dealt with a woman dealing with her husband who was incarcerated in prison, an African-American man. Well, this documentary, which DuVernay has been putting together for years with her co-producer and longtime editor Spencer Averick, deals with this subject on a much bigger level and comes up with some startling conclusions, statistics. It is told through many, many experts, historians, politicians. She's really done a number of interviews and weaved them skillfully throughout this film to tell the story essentially of race relations in the U.S., beginning a century and a half ago and continuing right through today.
And they said, we're going to take you to the precinct, and most likely we're going to let you go home, and then I never went home.
There are some statistics here that are really eye-opening, laid out here by DuVernay in precise surgical fashion. She tells the story of what happened, beginning with slavery. Actually, the South had to find a way, as this film points out, after slavery was abolished, to replace those 4 million slaves they had doing all the work. And so they would start arresting them and putting them in prison and finding a different way to make them slaves. Essentially, this documentary is saying that our prison system today is just another form of slavery. Man, this is like taking a cold shower. It opens today in select theaters and on Netflix. And any way you can see this movie, I urge you to see it. It will be well worth your time. But this movie did make me proud that there are people out there trying to make a difference, and that includes filmmakers like Ava DuVernay, who has done an outstanding job in bringing 13th to the screen. I urge you to see this movie. I say go.